I'm Jade Leon, and I didn't think of what I was gonna say before I started recording. Hi, I'm Jade Leon, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, which has been kind of MIA, but we're back. I can't promise consistency, but I can promise something. So I wanted to start. I've unlisted a lot of the videos on this channel because I've been posting on here since I was 14 on and off, and I don't really, that's too embarrassing and it's too humiliating, and I'm a new person now. So we're beginning a new era together, and I wanted to do a Q&A so you guys can learn more about me and my favorite topic. I asked people on Twitter and people on Instagram. I haven't checked Instagram. We'll see if people are being fake on Instagram, but I know I have questions from Twitter because the people on Twitter are real. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we have a lot on Instagram. Oh my god. I feel so popular. Look at this. I thought nobody was gonna ask a question on Instagram. People never reply to my questions. So let's just get started. We're in for a journey together. And if you have any of these questions that apply to you and you want to answer them, please answer them in the comments and we can have a discussion. Okay, first is from Portia Doll Drag. What has been your favorite song to write and or produce? I love hearing about the creating stage. I would say the coolest one to produce was Pretend. No, scratch it. Scratch it. I have two answers. Pretend was cool because it was a track that I bought the rights to online, like somebody else had already made the track, and I wrote to it, and then I bought the right to use it exclusively, and then I sent it to my producer, one of my producers, CJ, to help me kind of arrange background vocals, and she came to me like a week later and said, I was just really inspired, like, I wanted to add some things to the production, like, and you can use it or you cannot use it, but just let me know, and she completely reinvented that song. I mean, it was always one of my favorites, if not my favorite song that I've ever put out, but after that, I mean, she completely changed the song and made it incredible. So if y'all love Pretend, you know who to thank, Miss CJ, and I'll put her socials on, so follow her because she's really cool, and she has music of her own. She's really talented. Anyway, the other answer I was gonna say was Living Our Way, which is a song that is coming out in a couple of weeks, coming out on July 21st. So mark your calendars. I worked on it with my friend John McLucas. What we did was, it was actually a new kind of method, I guess. Usually what I would do is send a demo and send my inspiration, whatever, and then the producer would work on it, send it back to me, and we would just keep going back and forth. Because I don't live in LA yet. So too. But with him, what we did was every week we would have a Zoom meeting, but I was there live, so I got to watch everything that he did. He got to ask me questions real time, and I got to like see how my baby was made, which was really cool. And it made me feel really involved and just more knowledgeable about things, so that was really cool. This one comes from Ellie Stone, who, what is your favorite album of all time? My favorite album of all time, it's really hard. I mean, I would say Prismatic. That's not the name of the album, that's the name of the tour. It's Prism by Katy Perry. I feel like that album gets overlooked too much. I feel like, I know we talk a lot about Teenage Dream being like the pop bible, and yes it is, but I feel like Prism is the sister to the pop bible, and I feel like we need to talk about it more. It's an incredible album, so that's what I would probably say, if not Taylor Swift's entire discography. This one comes from Melt002, which is Mateo, my friend in high school, and he said, if you could scalp any celebrity for a wig, who would it be? It's a really good question. The gag is that I wouldn't need to scalp anybody because I'm wearing wigs. This is so Katy Perry centric, more than I thought it was gonna be. But she dyed her hair green for a period of time in like 2013, 2014. I have thought about replicating that hair so often. It's like, I'm so in love with it, and I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with it. Either that or the green wig that she wore on tour. Green hair, I'm into it. Okay, Mooney Gemini on Twitter asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years, I'll be 26. Just crazy to think about. I would hope that I am living in a place that I really like, just feel completely embraced by. And I mean, I would love to be touring. I would love to be touring. And I would love to have my first album out, or at least maybe my second or third by that time, I don't know, but I would love to have an album out. Gildera Jinx on Twitter, my friend Essie, hi Essie, asked, how do you get inspiration for your album covers? Sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I would say like the biggest like light bulb moment for me was for Passionate. I know a lot of people see that cover, that photo shoot, and they think, what is the meaning behind this other than yours? And there is a lot of meaning on it, and I just remember like panicking because I was like having meetings with the photographer and saying like, I don't know what I want to do, and then one night it just hit me all at once, and I remember just like writing everything down and being like, I have to wear this and I have to wear this color and it has to be this fabric. A lot of musicians and a lot of artists have said like that they don't feel like they're the ones making their art, that it feels like they're just the vessel, which I always thought was like so, I was like, girl, please. But sometimes it really does happen that way, where it's like, it feels almost supernatural how you had nothing in 1 minute and the next minute it's like you've been gifted this idea and there's so much detail and it just hits all at once. It's just really crazy to experience. But and if I don't have any ideas and it's really not coming to me and I need to kind of start to jumpstart things, I will just think about this song or the album or whatever at large and think about, okay, well, what's the title? Do you have anything there? Any keywords that we could expand on visually? Or I'll think about the theme. The theme was anger, passion. Red was the color that kind of I associated with that. So then you kind of go from there, and it's almost like a game of just like word association, and sometimes you can get something from that too. So if you wanted an actual tip rather than the supernatural gave me the idea, you want an actual tip, there you go. Okay, this one comes from @KatyaBeloved from Wisteria, and it says, when you get big, hypothetically, where would you want to go on a world tour? I mean, the world. I've just heard so many people talk about Latin America and especially Brazil and how like life-changing performing concerts there are and how into it and like just like celebratory the crowds are there. So I mean that would be crazy. I know we're really shooting for the stars in this answer, but that's me, baby. I shoot for the stars. Okay, this is from Trixie Katya's Petal. Do you have any tattoos or want any tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. I can tell you the tattoos that I almost got and didn't and then chickened out, and you know, maybe that was for the best. I wanted to tattoo like the Roman numeral 19 because I was born on June 19th and Gemini! I was born on June 19th and I've always kind of considered 19 to be my lucky number. For what reason? There's no situation in which that has been a lucky number to me, but I'm like, that's my number, you know what I mean? I'm very possessive over it. When I was turning 19, my golden birthday, I was like, oh, I want to get 19 tattooed on me. I'm very glad that didn't happen because 19 ended up being one of the worst years of my life. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that one. And then the other one was when I was going to turn 20, I wanted to get the word art tattoo, not here but on the inside. I mean, I don't dislike that tattoo idea. I think it's great. I love it. The only reason why I haven't gotten it is because I don't know what font I want. Okay, this is also from Essie. What's your ultimate goal that you want to achieve? This is gonna sound maybe kind of silly. My dad worked for the arena here in Miami, that the Miami Heat play at. He worked for the Miami Heat, it still does, since before I was born, so over 20 years. I guess grew up in that environment. It's just, I don't know how to put it into words, but it's just been a place that's always been really important to me. And every time I pass it or go into it, it's always like a reminder that, I don't know, like that I'm capable of doing. So for me, my like dream aspiration goal where I know it will feel like I've made it is performing in that arena on like headlining that arena on like a tour. I would cry. I wouldn't be able to make it through the show. I've been like hanging out, for lack of better words, in that building for my whole life. So, okay, so this next question is from @LovingAdore, aka Kaylin, and she asked, does drag have an influence on your music? If so, then how? And do you drink iced tea? Well, it's really funny you should ask that. First of all, I know people might not consider this iced tea, but technically it is. But I have all these cans of iced tea by my bed. So that was really actually scary that you asked me that question. Because yes, I do. So much. And does drag have an influence on your music? Yes. I would say, I mean, if we want to expand it to my music career, which I feel like involves, you know, hair and makeup and all that stuff, it's almost like this other persona that helps me get into the headspace of being a performer or musician. So I vividly remember starting to get into drag and watch Drag Race, and that's when I started experimenting with makeup and experimenting with color. And I know I'm not very colorful today, but usually I am, and it's the first time I ever felt like I was really myself. So yeah, drag has had an influence on my music, on my fashion, also yeah, on my whole life. And also, I heard Madison Rose, who is an indie artist that I absolutely love. If you love like dance pop music, you have to go check her out. She's really, really good. She had said like, I don't want to like put words in her mouth and get her canceled. You know you're a real pop star when drag queens are dancing to your track or whatever, something like that. I would love, like I tweeted the other day, I was like, I can't wait till I go to a drag show and hear one of my songs. Drag has had a huge influence on really everything that I do, to be very honest with you. And drag's not a crime. If you think it is, get the on page. Thank you. At Dumb Lesbian asks, who/what is your biggest artistic inspiration? It's a mix of people. Taylor Swift, obviously, and she is like the one. I started writing songs when I was 10, kind of learned a little bit of piano after that, and then I learned guitar, but all of that was because I wanted to be like Taylor Swift. So she's really, I guess, inspirationally been the foundation for my music, and for a very long time, like it was her. And also, I think that this is gonna sound really backhanded, and I do not mean it that way. Her platform, especially in the beginning, was that she was like kind of like a dork, or she wasn't the cool one, and she was the one that everybody bullied. So I think also seeing that really helped me, because I know I now, but I wasn't always like that, and I think it really helped me a lot as a kid. I never thought about the possibility of even being a musician or a pop star before Taylor Swift, because I just immediately counted myself out, because I wasn't like the kinds of pop stars that existed at the time. I wasn't like super confident and cool and outgoing like a lot of the pop stars at the time. So Taylor Swift really helped me to like feel like, oh, like actually people like me can do things like that. Actually, she was a huge inspiration, still is to me. I would say like aesthetically, Katy Perry. I would say I want to be more like Lady Gaga and Madonna, like really unapologetic and just like present and just really like unashamed to be themselves and to be loud and to take up space. You know, I would say Trixie and Katya too, especially Trixie. I think she's an incredible business person, and I feel like an affinity for business as well, and I actually was going to study business. Like that was my goal when I was in high school. I wanted to study business, which is so crazy. This is from Aloha Mara. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? But I noticed that a lot of that imposter syndrome and insecurity and like self-doubt, it went away after I started surrounding myself with people who were really supportive and positive, which is easier said than done. I used to work more with people and be around people who were kind of being aggressive or being harsh or being negative as a means to try to motivate me, and that really, it ruined my self-esteem. But also, if we're talking about imposter syndrome specifically, it still exists. I mean, I don't think that that's something that you ever really get over or like completely eliminate from your life, especially the higher and higher you go and the more you succeed. I think even if you get used to the level that you're at, if you take another step up, it's probably going to come back because it's new and it's scary, and you've never done it before. You've never been that high. You've never been that successful, and so you don't know what you're doing yet, and that's okay. When I was starting out, especially working with other people or talking to other musicians and producers and stuff like that, I always felt like, I'm so dumb, I should know all these like music terms that they're using, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I need to hide it, and now it's just like, if I don't know something, I reach out and I ask people that do know. And I think it's also about just like being okay with letting people know that you don't always know what you're doing, because chances are they probably didn't either. Having imposter syndrome doesn't make you an imposter, and it doesn't mean you're not good enough to do that thing. A lot of people deal with it, if not almost everybody. Okay, this one is from one of my producers, John. I talked about him earlier. He asked, tutorial for developing the freshest outfit aesthetics. And there were some other questions about, like, related to fashion. I started asking myself this question. Now I feel like I put things on and I feel like I am showing myself on the outside. Sometimes I would get sucked into trends that I didn't actually really like, but I was like, oh, I think that would look good on me, but I don't really love it. And now what I ask myself every time is, am I sitting in the right place? That's not what I ask myself. That's not what I ask myself. What I ask myself now is if I look at an item of clothing and I think to myself, if I bought this and I went home and everybody hated it, would I still love it? That's really helped me. This question is from Beth Jackson. If you could tour with anyone dead or alive, who would you tour with? I think it would be really fun, possibly unbearable, but mostly really fun to tour with a drag queen. Which one? I don't know. I would love, I mean, I know this would not happen because of how busy the schedule is, but you know, we don't know. We'll toss it out there. I would love to tour with Trixie, specifically because she makes music. So it would be, I feel like it would work a little bit better as like an opener, drag, or Adore. Madonna's touring with Bob the Drag Queen, right? I just have to get to Madonna's level of fame. And then I can tour with a drag queen. That would be cool. I've also asked, is there anywhere in the world you would love to go to? I would love to go to Italy. There was a period of time where I was like going to go to Italy and I started learning Italian. Because I don't know if you know this, I'm 10% Italian. So, you know. Yeah, in case you didn't know, I'm Italian. So, it's cool like that, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I had so much fun. Thank you so much for answering, for asking me questions. I remember like I did a Q&A when I was in high school and nobody asked me any questions. So I had to like look up questions online to answer. So it really was crazy to have even a pool big enough that I couldn't even answer all of them. So that was really amazing. Thank you so. If you submitted a question I didn't get to it, I'm so sorry. I'll save it for the next one. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Those are all linked below, and also you can pre-save my new song, Living Our Way, which is coming out July 21st, which is not that far away, and I think it's really good. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.